Hi everyone, I hope you're doing okay. Hope you're keeping well and staying safe. Still crazy times, isn't it? Welcome to this week's weekly update. This is number 8. I'm going to read a few verses from Psalm 62. As I always say, I know, but really encourage you to read the Psalms, read them over again, read through them, and let them encourage you. Psalm 62 is called My Soul Waits for God Alone in my Bible. I'm just going to read the middle verses, which are a bit of a refrain in this psalm. For God alone, O my soul, wait in silence. My hope is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. My fortress, I shall not be shaken. On God rests my salvation and my glory. My mighty rock, my refuge is God. Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your hearts before him. God is a refuge for us. So I don't know about you, but I found that a brilliant encouragement, especially in the continued madness that we seem to be facing, the conflicting and confusing guidelines and rules and regulations, and just this whole settledness, if you like, this serenity that comes from resting on God and from trusting in him. And it's a cry to us as individuals, but also as his people. Trust him at all times, oh people, at all times. So we're in times, so it seems sensible that these are some of the times that we should trust God in. But not only trust him, pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. And I just think that's a brilliant picture, that we can turn to God and look to him. He's our rock, our salvation, our glory, and our refuge. So I hope that encourages you today. Take those words, read them again and again, and let them bless your soul. That's Psalm 62. So moving on with some bits of information, if that's okay. The outdoor worship is planned for this Sunday at 4 o'clock. It's the usual routine. The information and the sign up is on the webpage. Thanks to all those who have signed up so far. There's still a few spaces, so that's great. Feel free to sign up in the next couple of days and come along. It's definitely looking like it will be colder, so blankets and flasks of tea and coffee may be useful. If the weather changes and if it's wet, if it's rainy, then obviously we won't be meeting, but we'll communicate that to you, to all those who've registered via text message and email, and maybe we'll do a short announcement on Facebook as well, just to get the message out. But yeah, if they don't hear anything about that, then we assume it's going ahead as planned, God willing. And we have got some plans in place for going forward, about meeting indoors possibly. Again, we need to wait for a few days maybe to see what happens with any new announcements, but there is a plan for us to do something indoors. And just to give you a heads up that if we do go ahead with that, what we'll be doing is asking everybody to register for indoor worship, and then we will split the people who've registered into groups, and we'll invite you to a specific service at a specific time. So you won't register for a service, you'll just register to be at indoor worship, and then we will at this end get that list, break it up into groups, and send you a message to invite you in for a particular service. That way we think we could probably get everyone along to an indoor worship service once every 4 Sundays. And then if that goes well, then we could look at moving to 2 services on a Sunday. But obviously, of course, all that is subject to the restrictions, to any changes that may be enforced, and to any further tightening of lockdown that will apply to places of worship. So yeah, we'll just do our best to communicate that with you. But just to let you know that there is a plan, and we have been thinking these things through, and we've got a plan for how to do that indoors in terms of keeping it safe, keeping it clean, and making it COVID secure. If you're a member, you should have had an email about a members meeting upcoming on the 12th. We'll email. It's going to be on Zoom, unfortunately. Of course, we would love for it to be in person, but it's just not possible right now. So that's a shame. But yeah, so if you remember, you should have had a letter about that, an email about that, and we'll send the email details of the Zoom meeting out nearer to the time. Just a couple of folks to pray for to finish with. So please continue to pray for Lindsay as he recovers from his surgery. He's making steady progress, which is a real answer to prayer. So please continue to uphold him in your prayers. Please remember Lynn and her family, Simon and the rest of the family. Please remember Lynn, the other Lynn, and her family and the children after the funeral last week. Please remember to uphold those folks. If you could pray for those who are suffering and struggling, that would be good. Some of you will know John, Hazel's dad, has broken his wrist and spent some time in the Royal this week at A&E, and he's in a plaster cast. So that's going to be tough for him, and I'm sure there's lots of others as well who are struggling with things. So please remember to pray for those. If you're not in a growth group, please think about joining one. If you want some info, drop us an email, admin@bridgechapel.com, and we can sort that out for you. Other than that, I think that's everything. So have a great day. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.